Good morning. It is Friday, June 10th, 2022. I am back here for Daily Shakeup number 552. And today I'm taking on a topic that is way too big for just several minutes, but I'm going to give it my best shot just to plant a seed, to get you to start thinking, to send you off on the weekend with something to ponder and maybe just sort of, whoa, freak out about. So I want to talk about this question: the difference between data, or really facts, feelings, and judgments or opinions that we have about data, about situations that are largely driven by our feelings. So here's the thing: we typically lump them together, and it's important to separate them and look at every situation, as difficult as it is, and say, okay, what's the true data? What are my feelings or emotions about that data? And then what are the judgments and opinions that I am holding, forming, maybe even holding on to, that are fed by the tiny bit of data and lots of feelings and emotions I have about that supposed data? So let me give you some quick definitions. My definitions: data is objectively provable facts, or facts that people engaged in whatever it is have agreed on between themselves. So let me give you a quick example. Last night, the Tampa Bay Lightning played the New York Rangers in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup semifinals, the Eastern Conference Finals. Tampa Bay Lightning won the game 3-1. I would say that's data. They won 3-1. Everything else about that is a question of, do we agree or disagree? What are the actual facts? Now, see, too often we know that people can see the same thing and see it differently. And then we'll say, well, it's facts. No, it's how someone perceived it. And we know that so-called eyewitness information or statements are often provably wrong, provably wrong. And so are our memories. So our memories aren't even facts. It's really that thing in the moment. So yeah, the Lightning won the game 3-1. I would argue that's data. Now, let's say that you and I are having a conversation and we agree that, let's say it's in the workplace, you're going to get something to me by 4:00 p.m. today. We may have a recording, okay? We may have a recording of that conversation that says that we actually agreed to 5:00. Right? So we could say that the data is that we agreed to 5:00 because we have a recording. However, if you and I both agree it was 4, then between us, I would say that's data. Because while there's another fact out there, between us, we agree that it was 4:00. And we're going to move forward based upon that agreed understanding, even if it's inconsistent with an actual fact. So that's complicated enough, right? Now, the next step is we all have feelings. We have feelings and emotions about people, situations, events, and actually about data. The problem is our feelings cloud this, and we actually we manipulate data based on our feelings, and we usually don't know we're doing it. That's why it's so important to carve these up and look at the situation and say, okay, what is, and often, the limited data we have? And it's funny because often, let's say I'm really angry about something, and I look at the data and I go, I'm really angry. But then when I look at the data, I go, why am I angry if that's the only data? Simple, because I've made judgments and I formed opinions about that data, or I have prior history with someone or a situation or whatever it is. And all of a sudden we go, wow, I'm angry, but the data doesn't support my anger. I need to figure out what else is in here. Not because my anger is bad, but my anger is probably not going to serve anyone or serve my relationships and not my leadership. So I need to be able to separate these, and understanding that I have feelings and emotions that cloud my view of what is data. And I often start calling my feelings fed data, actual data. And then we've got judgments and opinions, which I would say are the things I choose, consciously or unconsciously, to believe is true about people, about situations, about myself, based upon the data, the limited bit of data, and all my judgments and opinions, and those feelings that feed those judgments and opinions. Now, I've said at the beginning, this is a big topic. We can spend hours on it. But the point is, it's really easy to confuse these data, feelings, judgments, and opinions. And that confusion causes so much havoc in our communication, our relationships, and certainly our leadership. So here's what I'm going to leave you with today. Very, 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 very little is truly data. And we get into trouble because we start to believe that our judgments and opinions, largely influenced by our feelings, are actually data, when it's really just judgments and opinions about tiny data. Our feelings are just that. They're not data, even if those feelings seem strong or natural. They're our self-perceptions and emotions created based upon how we experience other people and other things. And our judgments and opinions are typically driven most by our feelings about the data. And here's the key, and this is a big one: what we make that limited data mean about us. Now, I'll talk about that in another shakeup, because that's a whole another basket of trouble. So these are very heavily layered concepts, and they really require a lot more time and deeper consideration. But this is a starting point. Your judgments and opinions are not data. And the sooner you let go of that misguided perspective, the quicker your communication, relationships, and leadership will improve. That's it for today. I hope, thanks for sticking with me for a slightly longer daily shakeup today, but I really want to start the conversation on this topic. Look forward to your feedback and perspectives. Have a great weekend. And as always, keep taking care of yourself and everyone around you. And by all means, stay connected.